hello, Sam. How are you? Say, where's Dick Tracy?
Oh, he stopped off to see Tess.
Oh, she was a pretty worried girl, that Tess. And by the same token, Sam, she's a mighty fine, a wonderful wife for Dick Tracy.
Oh, yes, he's a pretty lucky man. And I'd say she's a pretty lucky girl.
Yeah, you're right. It does do me heart good to see the love and devotion between them two.
Yes, Dick Tracy's first thought after he captured Flat Top was as to whether or not Tess was worried.
Yeah, mighty considerate, mighty considerate.
That's why he went home.
Where's Flat Top?
Oh, now, Murphy, this is going to surprise you and make you very unhappy. But once again, you missed all the fun. Flat Top is downstairs in your jail.
In my jail? Well, how come? Who admitted him?
Houlihan, of course.
Oh, Houlihan. Mm-hmm. But now I guess maybe it's a good thing that I wasn't on duty when they brought in that Flat Top fella. Because I shudder to think what I might have done to that man if I could have got my hands on him. After the way he worried Miss Tess and almost killed Tracy.
Yes, I know how you feel. I had a little trouble controlling myself.
Yeah, that Flat Top's a bad one.
Yes, on the way over here, Dick Tracy was telling me how he found out from Flat Top about the syndicate running the crime in this town.
Syndicate? What does that mean?
Oh, syndicate. That's a group of men banded together to fight the law.
Say, that sounds pretty bad.
Yes, now the head of the syndicate is a so-called respectable businessman by the name of Namgib.
Oh, Namgib, yes, I recollect that name.
Now, on behalf of the organization, he offered Flat Top $10,000 to kill Dick Tracy. Then he raised the price to $50,000 when Flat Top held out.
Well, say, now, that's a lot of money.
And it's a good thing Flat Top held out, because that's what started the argument between Flat Top and Namgib.
Well, how did it end? What happened then?
Well, Flat Top raised his price to $100,000 after he got the 50 grand.
50 grand. 50 grand, says he. So you're beginning to talk like a member of the underworld yourself.
Association, Murphy. Association. Anyway, when I got to Flat Top's apartment, Tracy had killed Moat.
Moat? Who's Moat?
Oh, Moat was one of Flat Top's henchmen.
Oh, a henchman.
And Namgib was dead, too.
Oh, Namgib? Well, who killed him?
Well, Namgib tried to shoot Flat Top, but Flat Top beat him to the draw.
Well, sure, that sounds like more target practice than a good day in a shooting gallery. Well, I must say it couldn't happen to more deserving people. And him trying to kill Dick Tracy and willing to pay $50,000 for it, too.
Yes, it's their own fault. They should know better than to start anything with Dick Tracy.
Yeah, you're right, Sam. Yes, sir, you are. And well, Dick Tracy in person.
Sam?
Well, Sidney, it's a pleasure to see you again all in one piece. Sure, you're a sight for sore eyes.
Well, Murphy, you have no idea how good it is to be back here.
And you have no idea how good it is to see you back home. Oh, and speaking of home, how's Tess?
Well, she was having a good cry when I left her.
Now, isn't that just like a woman?
Yeah, indeed it is. They cry when they're angry, and they cry when they're sad, and they cry when they're happy, but bless their darling hearts, they're wonderful all the time.
That's right, Murphy. I wouldn't trade Tess for anybody else in the whole wide world.
But see, Mr. Tracy, how does Mrs. Tracy feel about the danger of your job here?
Oh, she understands perfectly that my whole life is a fight against crime. And in spite of the danger, she keeps telling me this is where I should be.
Well, she's a smart woman, Tracy. It's true that your place is right here behind this desk, making life unsafe for all criminals.
And there's been a tremendous number of car thefts in this town.
How well I know it. The chief's been on our necks.
Yes, he has made it rather difficult, hasn't he?
Hey, what's this map?
Well, every time there's been an automobile theft in the past few weeks, I've put a pin in this map.
Why?
Well, as you know by now, all crime fits into a pattern. If enough pieces fall into place, we know what the design is. And right now, I think it's time we did something about these car thieves.
I better carry that bag. There's pretty valuable stuff in there. We don't want Ruff to drop it and spoil anything.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Joe. You be careful, too.
Don't worry. A little bag like this is worth $50,000 cash anywhere in the U.S. 50,000? It's worth more than that, and you know it.
Well, maybe. We'll talk about it in the office. Sit down.
All right, you guys have got me, and you got the bag. What do you expect me to do now?
When you called me from Detroit and told me what was in that bag, you told me the price was 25 grand.
Did I?
Don't play tricks. You told me 25 grand, didn't you?
That was for the stuff in the bag. Don't forget the cost of the bag in my trip out here from Detroit. That doubles the cost.
Look, you make a deal with me, you don't back down, see? If and when you and I come to an agreement about something, you don't back out. Understand? Now, for being such a pig, you get nothing.
Say, this looks like the real thing.
Yes, indeed. This looks like it, all right. Where'd you get this stuff, Ruff?
That set of tools has been carefully hidden, wrapped in oil for 2.5 years. My brother was killed when he stole it.
Well, that's enough of that.
Well, where's my dough?
Stick around. I'll give you an IOU.
Well, Doc, it didn't take you long to pick up this one.
Some jerk left his car parked with the door unlocked. It was a cinch.
Oh, good. Hijack's got an order for 4 of these down south.
I know. And I know what colors he wants, too. So to save time, I'm picking them out by color.
Good. When do we start changing the numbers on them?
You better go get the number book so we can see about changing this one. Ruff, why don't you do some work around here so you can earn your keep?
Listen to me, Hijack. I was telling Doak, and I'm telling you, I'm tired of getting pushed around. I want some dough. I haven't even got the price of a pack of cigarettes.
Well, that's too bad. Here's some money. Now get back to work and stop bothering me.
What do you want? What's this car brought in here a little while ago? I cleaned it up, got it ready to change the numbers, and put it out on the back lot.
That was a pretty quick drive.
You're pretty fast man yourself.
I got to get going. I got to get another car.
What's the hurry?
Well, Hijack says we can't change the numbers on these cars until we pick up a couple of more. You know, a real assembly line production.
Yeah, you know, that Hijack's a pretty sharp operator. Not only with cars, but he operated me right out of my tools.
Why don't you relax, Ruff? After Hijack has beat you down a little bit, don't worry. We'll throw you a couple of bucks to keep you from starving.
Yeah.
Just take care of this one, will you? I'll be back in a little while with another one.
What do you think you're doing?
Hello, Jonesy. This is Hijack. Look, I'll have those cars down to your place by this afternoon. Yeah, I got the fix like you said. I got a list of colors, too. Yeah. Well, look, have it doing cash. All right, I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Well, you call me? Certainly I called you. Is those cars ready? I'll accept raw and milk. Start picking it up now. Well, tell us delivery for this afternoon. We better have those colors right in the right body style, too.
When are we going to stamp the numbers on it?
You've been mighty anxious to get your hands back on those tools, aren't you?
Well, they're mine, ain't they?
Only as long as you had them.
Well, don't you worry, I'll get them back.
Over my dead body.
If that's the way you want it, I'll go along with you. And the sooner the better. Hi, Jack, I'm going to beat your brains out with this wrench if you don't open that safe and give me back my tools.
You can drop that, Russ.
Let me tell you something I want you to remember. First chance I get, I'm going to kill you.
I don't think you will. Unless you get your hands on the combination of that safe or your hands back on those tools. Besides, I think you're too yellow to kill anybody.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, that must be dope. You better sit down for a few minutes.
Yeah, I couldn't take both of you anyway.
Oh, how'd you make out?
Yeah, I got to your car. You got 6 to go now. Right year, right model, and everything.
That's great. Have any trouble?
Yeah. First time I've had any trouble for weeks.
What happened?
Well, a guy walked away from his car. He left it unlocked. When I hopped in to drive it away, it stalled.
Go on.
Well, the guy came back. Before I could get it started, he yelled at me, so I shot him.
You shot him. You kill him?
Nah. I only winged him in the arm. You know what that means, don't you? No. What? You went straight to the cops. Well, who cares? He won't be able to prove anything.
Pardon me. Is this Dick Tracy's office?
Yes. Mr. Tracy. Anything we can do for you?
My name is Rose. I was just sent up here to talk to you about my automobile being stolen.
Well, first I'd like to ask you about your arm.
I was stopped by the man who stole my car.
How long ago that happened?
Within the last hour.
Well, would you mind taking a look at this map and telling us in which section of town it happened?
There. Right there. A man in overalls wearing a cap got into my car, tried to start it, and the motor stalled. I had to go back to my car for something I forgot. Tried to stop him, and he shot me.
Lucky you weren't killed.
I know. I still want my car back.
Well, Sam, that settles it. We better work fast. Mr. Rose, would you mind sitting down for a moment? We're going to take you with us to identify your car. Now, Sam, as I was saying, this cluster of pins representing the auto thefts in the past few weeks was all localized in one section of town.
Oh?
Well, obviously, somewhere in this area is the headquarters of the car stealing ring.
Oh, you got our men checking the garages and warehouses?
Yes, the best place in Big City to hide a car is with other cars.
That would be in garages and warehouses.
That's right. Now, on our list, we only have 4 possibilities. If we strike fast and Mr. Rhodes here can identify his car before they change the motor numbers or repaint it, we can break this case wide open.
Oh, let's get going.
Right. Mr. Rhodes? Thank you, sir.
Okay, hi, Jack. How'd you do on changing those numbers?
Well, man, these tools are the greatest thing that's out of Detroit.
Russ Doak will give you the new numbers. You get the work. Doak, I want you to watch this very closely because if he refuses to work with us, you're going to have to do his job.
Hi, Jack. It'll be a pleasure.
I got half a mind to drop this stuff and break it. Well, go right ahead. Because 2 seconds after that bag dropped in the floor, you followed full of lead.
Okay.
Now look, this is the new engine number to match the registration papers. And this is the new auto body serial number. So, let's see how you operate the tools.
Now, these are the dies you set the numbers with. This is the way it works.
Hey, that's pretty interesting. Now, what's the paint on that car? It might not be dry yet. Oh, don't worry, Hijack. I gave it the full infrared treatment, and then I went over it with a hand lamp.
Yeah, that's great.
This isn't it. There's one more on all this.
That's it. I'll take those. Say, these tools are okay. I think after I watch Ruff a while, I'll be able to use them myself.
Yeah, we gotta have somebody around who can use them, just in case Ruff gets mad and decides to quit.
Don't worry, I'm not leaving till I get some dough.
We'll carry it out of your feet first. I want to put these in the safe. I hope you two will be very happy.
Doc, don't you think I'm getting a raw deal on this whole thing?
Listen, Ruff, the way I got it figured out is this. If you weren't smart enough not to get yourself in a position so a couple of guys could strong-arm you and take away your die-sinking tools, then it's entirely your own fault.
Yeah, I guess you're right. What do you get out of this deal?
You must have it figured out by now. I work for Hijack, and I don't care who owns the tools, you or Hijack, just as long as I get my dough every week.
You know how the setup works?
Sure, I know how the hot cars are picked up, and I know how they're sold in lots. I know everybody up and down the line that Hijack deals with.
Look, I know how to work those die-sinking tools, and I know all there is to know about etching acids. Why don't we make a deal?
You mean you want me to double-cross Hijack?
Oh, I wouldn't put it that way. Look at it like this. If you and I ran this operation, we could split the profits. You could handle the business end, and I could take care of the number changing. We could expand, put on a couple of extra guys to pick up the hot cars.
You may have something there.
So if you and I can get that safe combination, we can knock off Hijack anytime we want.
The more I listen to you, the better it sounds. Well, if we can't get the safe combination, then we'll both jump Hijack the next time the tools are out.
Yeah, that's a better idea. But be careful and don't damage those tools.
All right, boys, ask me for the combination.
What's the matter, Hijack?
Shut up. I'm trying to figure out which one of you guys to let have it first. But if I miss, I don't want to hit that car.
Now, wait a minute, Hijack. You're making a mistake.
Wait a minute, I want to talk to you. All right, you double-crossers.
Did you hear that, Tracy? That was the sound of shots. Yeah, it's driven an automobile backfiring. After all, it is a garage.
We won't take any chances anyway.
If you gentlemen don't mind, I'll just wait out here a while.
All right. Come on, Sam. Anybody in here? Who is it?
It's Tracy.
Go in the office. I'll be there in a minute. We'll have to settle this later as Tracy. We call it truce?
Yeah, we'll call it truce.
I didn't want any part of this. I wasn't on Ruff's side. What started the whole thing? I was just talking to Ruff. You misunderstood. Ruff, you come with me. We'll hide in a secret panel while Doak goes in and talks to Tracy and pretends like he owns the place.
Okay.
And Doak, if anybody asks any questions, you own the place.
Right.
Come on. Dick Tracy?
Yes?
I didn't hear you come into the garage. We had a motor running, and it kept backfiring. It made an awful lot of noise.
I told you that was a backfire of an auto.
Well, what can I do for you gentlemen?
What's your name?
My name is Doak. I own the garage. Is there something you want?
Well, I'd like to ask you a few questions, such as your garage capacity. Do you repair cars and whether you sell automobiles?
Well, what are you leading up to?
Well, we had a big wave of automobile theft lately.
Certainly you don't suspect me, do you?
We don't suspect anyone in particular. We're just checking on all garages.
Do you mind if we have a look around?
Why, certainly not. Is there anything specific that you'd like to see?
No, we just wanted to look around.
Well, all my books and records are at my accountant's office. That is, if there's anything in them that you'd like to see.
No, that won't be necessary. We can see those later.
Well, let's go.
All right.
Quite a setup you got here.
Well, it isn't a very fancy place, but it took me quite a few years to build it up even to this.
Yeah, it looks all right.
It'll never make me a very rich man, but I like it.
This is a new paint job, isn't it? Did you do this here?
Well, I wouldn't know for sure. It looks like a new paint job. The car came in yesterday for a motor overhaul.
You do paint work, don't you?
Well, only if we have to. It's more bother than it's worth. Our specialty is motor work.
I see. Well, Sam, why don't you call Mr. Rones in?
Oh, Mr. Rowan, would you step inside, please?
Doak, this is Mr. Rones.
How do you do? Oh, why do you keep looking at me like that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Rones, does this look like your car?
Well, it's the same make and the same model.
See, Mr. Rones was shot a couple of hours ago, and his car was stolen.
Well, if there's any question in your mind at all, why don't you look at the engine serial number?
No, I'd rather not bother you men. This isn't my car, I can tell. It's a different color.
Well, you men walked in here looking for a stolen car, and so I know there'll be no suspicions. Why don't you take a look at the engine serial numbers?
That won't be necessary, really, it
Oh,
won't.
Mr. Rowan, go ahead. Here, you can check them against these serial numbers.
Yes, do that.
No, Mr. Tracy, I'm afraid this is not the same car.
See, I told you.
Wait a minute. I just remembered something.
What is it, Mr. Rones?
I painted my initials in white paint on top of the battery in the car. I'm quite certain I saw a flash of white on top of the battery just now.
Don't be ridiculous.
Don't touch that hood. Let Mr. Rowan take another look.
That's enough of this nonsense.
All right, you coppers, stand right where you are. I recognize you now, Mr. Tracy. That man with the gun is the same one who shot me this afternoon.
You talk too much.
Be careful, Sam. This may be a trick.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam, I got him.
Yeah, it's a good thing you did. That last bullet missed me by about that much.
Yes, it was a pretty close call.
Yeah, well, he deserved what he got. This is the fellow that shot Mr. Rollins. I guarantee you he won't shoot anyone else. Oh, and by the way, thanks for getting him just when you did.
Now, Sam, you know I wouldn't let anything happen to you.
Even though Mr. Rowan's car was stolen, looks like he's going to get a brand new paint job.
Oh, yes, and see that all the stolen cars are returned to their rightful owner.
I'll get on it right away.
Well, Sam, this might be the end of this car stealing ring, but I'm not sure.
Well, if it isn't, it will be when you get through with them. Whenever you're on the trail of criminals, they end up one of two ways. Either in jail or in the morgue.
Anybody that breaks the law has to pay for the wrong they've done.